According to plan, great field of cars that we've had here. You can see that Dan Henshaw, defending his title, has said, I don't want to run in the Bs, I'll just start at the back. 40 laps coming your way in the third row. The lights have gone out, folks. Get ready, here we go. Queensland Production Sedan Title 2023 here at Fraser Shores, Maryborough Speedway. Green one says go, we are racing. Chris Pagel drifts a little high and takes Joel Berkeley up to the fence. Chris Pagel is the race leader. Have a look who's tucked in behind him. It's Chris Blyton in the 91 car. Next one through there would be the 61 car. Down the back straight away, Chris Pagel. Chris Blyton in position number 2. Matt Nelson in 3. Joel Berkeley is back there. Nathan Barbala, who's just done 20 laps in a street stock, is the next one in line. Rick Hazelgrove through the canteen corner. Back behind them is Hayden Turner. Jordan Bibiano would be the next one. Trent Gosley down the back straight away and under the canteen. Chris Pagel is the race leader. Car number 91, Chris Blyton, not too far away. We got a yellow one. Out, get ready for a restart. Outside the Witches Hat, single file. Chris Pagel, Chris Blyton in position number 2. Joel Berkeley goes high on the racetrack, looking to get around the outside of Matt Nelson. Nelson stays down low, and Joel Berkeley changes the direction of the attack. We got a yellow light one more time. Got a car in the wall over there in turn number 2. Rick Hazelgrove ready to go. Green one at the ready. Chris Pagel leads them away. Chris Blyton. Next one through behind them will be that of Matt Nelson. Joel Berkeley, the next one online. Back to Rick Hazelgrove. Outside of Rick Hazelgrove is Sam Grundy. Gets it a little bit wobbly as Hayden Turner goes underneath and up one more position. Jordan Bibiano would be the next one online. So Chris Pagel leads them down the main straight away one more time. Chris Blyton is in position number 2. Joel Berkeley moves up underneath Matt Nelson down the back straight away. Rick Hazelgrove is the next one there in the 6 car. Hayden Turner. Next behind him is Sam Grundy. Then we go to the 12 car of Brody Boss on the outside of Jordan Bibiano. We go back to our race leader, Chris Pagel. Pagel down the main straight away. Chris Blyton in 2. Joel Berkeley in 3. Back behind them in the 61 car is Matt Nelson. Nelson, Rick Hazelgrove. Hayden Turner. Back behind Hayden Turner, it's still Sam Grundy. As they go under the tower one more time, Brody Boss is there with Gordon Bibiano. Have a look at Berkeley. Joel Berkeley high on the racetrack. Joel Berkeley staying up there. Chris Pagel. Chris Blyton in 2. Joel Berkeley high on the racetrack on Chris Blyton. Joel Berkeley has gone into position number 2 almost. Chris Blyton fights back. Berkeley stay high on the track, looking for a little bit of drive up there. Matt Nelson is the next one. Rick Hazelgrove as they go down the back straight. It's still Chris Pagel. Joel Berkeley changes direction, comes charging underneath Chris Blyton and into position number 2. Now right on the tail of Chris Pagel as they go down the back straight away. Berkeley changes direction once again and goes into the race lead through the canteen corner. Chris Pagel back underneath him. The two of them side by side into turns 1 and 2. Change over again. This time Berkeley back down on the inside. He and Chris Pagel side by side through the canteen corner down the main straightaway. Joel Berkeley goes to the race lead. Chris Pagel. Chris Blyton is still third. Back behind them still, it's Matt Nelson, and those four cleared out from Rick Hazelgrove. Brody Boss, Hayden Turner, Jordan Bibiano. Race leader putting some distance now between himself and the pursuing Chris Pagel. Joel Berkeley moves up on the tail of Murray Diop, the 18 car, as they go down the back straightaway. Joel Berkeley, the race leader, right up on the tail of Murray Diop. Moves to the outside, trying to keep the high line going. Berkeley around the outside of Murray Diop, then down the inside of Braden Pacey to put a lap on them. Next one, he's put 3 lap cars between himself and the pursuers down the back straightaway. He's right up now on the tail of Corey Jennings. Back behind, Dakota Laverty is the next car in line as Chris Pagel gets around her. Joel Berkeley still going strong. Down the main straightaway he goes. Corey Jennings about to have Chris Pagel go around the outside as well. Getting into position 3, it's still Chris Blyden. Blyden is right on the tail of Chris Pagel. Back then to the 61 car there of Matt Nelson. We pick up the race leader. He's going down the back straightaway. He's now right on the tail of Dan Henshaw, who's trying to work his way around Jamie Beesmore. Jamie Beesmore's the 15 car. Dan Henshaw. Next one is Joel Berkeley. Berkeley goes around the outside of Jamie Beesmore. Daniel Henshaw holding his line to allow Berkeley underneath. 18 laps remaining. Joel Berkeley is the race leader. Chris Pagel in 2. In position number 3, it's still that of Chris Blyden, who is following Chris Pagel around the outside of Jamie Beesmore. Back then to Matt Nelson. Next one through in the line would be Brody Boss. Then we go to Rick Hazelgrove, Hayden Turner. And we got a green light. No, we haven't got a yellow. Got a bit of a problem in front. It looks like we now have got a yellow. That will line everyone up pretty close, one behind the other. That'll be the 48 car that's lost the muffler. I think Brett Barron, by the sounds of that. Push car to the help, Braden Pacey. Now, Joel Berkeley has been put back 2 placings for passing on the infield. So that's why he's gone back to position number 3. So Chris Pagel, Chris Blyden, Joel Berkeley, Matt Nelson, Brody Boss, Rick Hazelgrove, Hayden Turner, Jordan Bibiano. That's the lead cars. Sam Grundy will be the next one. And we've got 17 to go. Look for the restart. Chris Pagel leads them away to the outside. Chris Blyton goes with him. Joel Berkeley ducks down underneath Chris Blyton, having a little look down the inside as they arrive at the canteen corner. Chris Pagel, Chris Blyton, Joel Berkeley, Matt Nelson, Brody Boss is the one on a move. That's car number 12. Back then to Rick Hazelgrove. Next one behind him is Hayden Turner and then Jordan Bibiano. Through turn 4, down the main straightaway. Chris Pagel, Chris Blyton in position number 2. Joel Berkeley, Matt Nelson. Back then to Brody Boss. That's the front 5 as they arrive at the canteen corner one more time. Chris Pagel, Chris Blyton is still there. Blyton having a look underneath this time as Joel Berkeley goes a little high on the racetrack, and Matt Nelson is right in the mix through turns 3 and 4 and down the main straightaway. It's still Chris Pagel, Chris Blyton, Joel Berkeley again high on the track, allowing Matt Nelson to have a little look down the inside. Back behind them still then is Brody Boss. Bit of a gap, goes all the way back to Rick Hazelgrove. Hazelgrove and Hayden Turner as Chris Blyton has a little look up the inside of Chris Pagel and will go to the race lead. So Chris Blyton is the new race leader. Chris Pagel getting hammered in the back by Joel Berkeley. Berkeley goes high on the racetrack, drives around Chris Pagel and heads for Chris Blyton just as the yellows come on again. This hat we go. Chris Blyton, Chris Pagel, Joel Berkeley, Matt Nelson, Brody Boss, Rick Hazelgrove. As Chris Pagel goes to the outside, down the back straightaway, Joel Berkeley in the mix into the canteen corner. Berkeley and Chris Pagel lock horns. One in trouble with a bit of smoke coming out of the Brody Boss car. That might be all she wrote for Brody Boss. Down the back straightaway he goes. Chris Blyton is the race leader. Joel Berkeley forcing his way up underneath. Back to Chris Pagel still in the mix. Brody Boss with the smoke pouring out of the car. Down the back straightaway and into the canteen corner one more time. Chris Blyton, Chris Pagel and Joel Berkeley once again come to grips into turn number 1 and 2, yellow ones. Dan Henshaw in trouble. Rick Hazelgrove, go, we're racing. Chris Blyton, Joel Berkeley drives straight underneath him, going into turn 1 and 2, and Joel Berkeley will go to the race lead. Chris Blyton in position number 2. Chris Pagel having a look underneath, it's not there. Matt Nelson would be the next one, Nick Hazelgrove. Next behind him is Hayden Turner trying to go high on the racetrack as well, and Brad Shearer tucked in there in the 30 car. Through the canteen corner down the main straightaway, Joel Berkeley, Chris Blyton, Chris Pagel, Matt Nelson, Rick Hazelgrove, down the back straight. Joel Berkeley will just try to hold that line. Chris Pagel works his way into position number 2. Chris Blyton back to 3. Back then to Matt Nelson with a bit of a charge from Hayden Turner. It didn't come off. Rick Hazelgrove holds on. Joel Berkeley through the canteen corner. Down the main straightaway, 4 to go from Chris Pagel. Dips a little high in turn number 1 and 2. Chris Blyton back then to Matt Nelson. The next one is Rick Hazelgrove and Hayden Turner. 3 to go for Joel Berkeley. Chris Pagel is not too far away. Neither is Chris Blyton. Matt Nelson back there in 4. Next one behind them is Rick Hazelgrove, and Hazelgrove followed by Hayden Turner. The lead cars close up 2 to go. Joel Berkeley, Chris Pagel, Chris Bloyden down the back straightaway. Joel Berkeley, Chris Pagel, Chris Bloyden into the canteen corner. The white flag is waiting. We're in our final lap. 1 to go. Joel Berkeley just a little high. Pagel's not close enough. Chris Bloyden is in 3. Joel Berkeley's got 2 corners to go through the canteen corner. Joel Berkeley will be Queensland champion. Chris Pagel, Chris Bloyden, Matt Nelson, Rick Hazelgrove. Yeah, folks, put your hands together. Joel Berkeley, the new Queensland champion. As he goes around, folks, yeah, put your hands together for him. We will have presentation here in the middle very, very shortly for the first 5 cars across the line. But Joel Berkeley, a couple of weeks ago, was awarded the Senior Sedan Driver in Australia award. Backs it up with a Queensland Production Sedan Title win.